So my name is Brett Murray. I'm coming to you from Los Gatos, California, in the middle of Silicon Valley. I work for JPMorgan Chase. My role at JPMorgan Chase is to help develop innovative products, services, and even features. I own teams in San Francisco and New York that work on this full time. I'm looking forward to the upcoming conference in October in Croatia. Mostly because I think it's very important for those of us, especially in Silicon Valley, to get outside of our bubbles. It's very easy to just do business within 50 kilometers of Palo Alto and feel like you're controlling the world from there. Whereas the reality is there's a lot of innovation going on all over the world, especially in the fintech space. Europe has pioneered a lot of business models in finance. Obviously, there is a lot coming out of the San Francisco area, but also in Asia. And the only way we can truly get exposure and learn from these things is to sit down and talk face to face. You can read all the news stories, you can even try the products. It's not until you understand the impacts they're having on people's lives that you really get it. So I've been living and working in Silicon Valley for 25 years. I've worked for startups. I've been employee number 4. I've been employee 200,000. I've worked for companies like Apple, Nokia, TiVo, Palm. And across time, what has really drawn me to the tech industry is it's where you see humanity evolving in real time. It's incredibly exciting and it's kind of mind blowing. All you really have to do is go and watch television shows from as recently as the 1990s. There's no cell phones, there's no computers, there's no internet in day-to-day life. Watching shows that are kind of universal and global, like Friends or Seinfeld, many of the situations the characters get into wouldn't even exist if it weren't for the lack of technology that we have today. GPS, the ability to message each other, making restaurant reservations in advance. And it's really funny. I mean, I'll give you a kind of quirky example of where you can get your brain around that. There's a Twitter account called Modern Seinfeld, and it talks about the characters that many people are familiar with, but they're dealing with dating apps. They're dealing with somebody hacked their Wi-Fi and all losing their phones and the problems of it. It's pretty fascinating stuff to think about, and it's really, really fun to be at the forefront of that industry. So most of my experience has been in the technology industry here in the Valley. And very typically, we like to think of ourselves as the disruptors. We're the ones that are coming for the big guys. We are the barbarians at the gate. And when I joined JPMorgan Chase, I really expected us to be surrounded by all these hordes that are trying to pick away at our business. And all my research leading up to it really led me to think that that would be the case. What I've come to realize in reality is there's two flavors of fintechs. There are the ones who have great investors, who have managed to connect themselves with really good legal counsel, and they understand the regulatory environment. The regulatory environment is the single largest barrier to fintech succeeding. In the United States, the SEC can shut you down at any time. Many of the fintechs that I have encountered don't understand this, and therefore they're not building their companies for compliance. They're not coding their products for regulatory. And as a result, when they get in front of large organizations like Chase, we look at them, we're fascinated by the product, feature, service that they've built, but those things don't necessarily plug and play for us. So we can't easily acquire them. We can't easily consider them even as partners or for us to be a customer of their product. It's a big problem. And as a result, it puts even more weight on the big guys to be innovators and to help bring some of these features, products, and services to life. So anybody who looked me up online would realize that most of my background is actually in marketing for innovation companies here in the Valley. And, you know, when I've really kind of started to cozy up to the marketing team at Chase and watch the marketing landscape across finance and fintech, what really has struck me is there's two flavors of marketing going on. The big guys like Chase, after 2008 and the financial collapse, really have to show that we are trustworthy, that we are looking out for our customers and putting them first, that we have their best interest at mind. The smaller guys, they see opportunity in this. One of the largest fintechs here in Silicon Valley is called Robinhood. Just think about the name, the brand Robinhood. It's all about someone who took from the rich and gave to the poor. And I think that's how a lot of the fintechs look at it, is their mission is to climb the mountain and make people less dependent on organizations like Chase or Wells Fargo or the other large banks here in the United States and worldwide. Because unfortunately, many, not all, were villains in this 2008 era. Um, some of us, like Chase, we were asked by the federal government to help change the situation and save jobs at Washington Mutual and save jobs at Lehman Brothers. But really, the overarching perception is big is bad. And as a result, you've got kind of two forks of marketing going on. So one of the things I'm really, really excited about with this conference is the venue, if you can even call it a venue. I mean, we'll all be on boats, we'll all be networking constantly, we'll be in pretty informal circumstances, giving lectures in olive groves and jumping island to island. Aside from on a personal level, the excitement of the travel and the unique experience, I have absolutely found that conferences that take these more unorthodox approaches and throw people into dynamic new environments really bond people. I have made close friends of fellow speakers at conferences like this, and I have found amazing business contacts. And it goes beyond what can we do for each other. It goes beyond tell me a story about your interesting background or company or product. It really gets to a personal level fast when you're in these really cool environments. And you know, the best relationships I've made in my whole career are the ones that, yes, I have professional respect for someone, but having personal connection and respect is huge as well. And I think that this formula that we're going to experience in October is going to be really, really powerful for that.